So that was quite an abrupt ending. I'm not sure if that's the correct ending. It might be just the recording I've got. But that was Carry That Weight from the Beatles, and prior to that was Golden Slumbers, two brilliant songs off Abbey Road record. And I think, there's a lot of mythology around the Beatles, purely because they were so big, and, they're saying in certain photos Paul McCartney wasn't Paul McCartney and he's really dead, and this is an imposter or whatever. Well, there is one thing I've spotted on a famous photo of the Beatles that I think, because I haven't checked it online, I think I might be the only one who spotted this, right? So this is a revelation, so be ready for this, right? Of one of the greatest, biggest bands ever, right? Certainly in the last century or so. So on the album Please Please Me, which is their first album, there is a famous photo of them in the EMI building, and there's like an atrium, and they're looking over. There's many floors going up that you can see from the centre of the atrium where the photograph is being taken, and you've got the Beatles looking over the side and into the camera, right? They're about 2 or 3 floors up, and it's an extremely famous photo. And there's, I think, later in their career they did the same photo, but they're looking more hippie-ish as they went into psychedelia and all of that. Anyway, this is my theory. When you look at this photo, on the right-hand side, from right to left, you've got John Lennon, George Harrison, Paul McCartney, and then Ringo Starr. Now, think about this. This is what came to my mind. Again, a little bit macabre, and God forbid this happens, but John Lennon went first, shot in 1980. And then in, I think, the late 90s or early 2000s, George Harrison passed away from cancer, I believe. Then you've got Paul McCartney. What happens if Paul McCartney goes next? Is it a prophecy? And we're left with Ringo Starr, the least talented of all of them, although he did sing Yellow Submarine and Octopus's Garden, which I think he actually wrote. So it's not all bad. But anyway, that's my theory. Could I be right? Have you heard it before? Because I haven't looked that online. I just saw the photo and I looked at the order. Anyway, should we move on to a new song? Move away from that macabre story of mine and move on to the Jags and Back of My Hand.